I think it's a very intriguing fight, two generational greats. You know, I think it's very difficult for Bud moving up that high in weight, but if anyone can do it, it might be him. You know, his movement and his IQ is second to none, but it's different when you're facing Canelo Alvarez. It's a fantastic fight, you know, two generational greats, two pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in...
Eddie Hearn has just given his take on the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Meanwhile, boxing analyst Sam Jones, a strong supporter of Crawford, has expressed concerns about the size difference between the two fighters. While Jones acknowledges Crawford's exceptional skills, he believes Canelo's sheer strength and physicality will be a major obstacle. He described Canelo as a compact powerhouse, not particularly tall, but built like a solid block of muscle. According to Jones, this physical advantage could be the defining factor, making it extremely challenging for Crawford to secure a victory.
Big Terence Crawford fan, right? I think I love Terence Crawford, huge Crawford fan. I just think in this fight, he's just going to be too small in this fight. Like Canelo is massive, like he's a unit. He's not tall in stature, but if you've been around Canelo, he's just a lump, isn't he? Canelo, he's a right lump, and I just think Canelo would be too big for him.
Between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, calling it a true super fight between two elite champions. When asked for his prediction, he admitted he wasn't sure who would come out on top. However, he confirmed that if the fight happens, he'll likely be in attendance.
I don't know. I mean, these are two guys that have accomplished a lot. You know, it's one of what you would call a super fight. And I do super fights. So,
who do you feel wins?
I don't know. I don't know.
Will you be in attendance? Will you be there?
Probably. More than...
Eddie Hearn described the clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford as a fascinating battle between two generational greats. He recognized that moving up in weight would be a significant challenge for Crawford, but noted that if anyone could succeed, it would be him, thanks to his exceptional movement and ring IQ. However, Hearn emphasized that while facing Canelo at 168 lbs is already a tough task, the real challenge lies on fight night, when Canelo could weigh between 180 to 185 lbs, making the size disparity even more daunting for Crawford.
I think it's a very intriguing fight, two generational greats. You know, I think it's very difficult for Bud moving up that high in weight, but if anyone can do it, it might be him. You know, his movement and his IQ is second to none, but it's different when you're facing Canelo Alvarez up there. You know, not just at 168, but on the night, probably 180, 185. You know, it's going to be a big task.
Moreover, Keith Thurman acknowledged that Canelo Alvarez is extremely difficult to defeat, but not invincible. He highlighted Canelo's strong defense, effective offense, exceptional timing, sharp head movement, and immense power as key attributes that make him a formidable opponent.
Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he's not unbeatable. Now, you can say this about every fighter, but this is Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he's not.
Paulie Malignaggi believed that Crawford was destined to win this fight, suggesting that boxing seemed to favor him due to the way he built his career compared to Canelo's path.
Happen every once in a while in this freaking world, which it never does. I feel like Crawford is supposed to win this fight. It's just a favor to boxing for the way he went about his career. And
Terence Crawford possesses the talent and intelligence to overcome Canelo Alvarez, though it will be a formidable challenge. While he recognizes Canelo as one of the greatest fighters of all time, he views Crawford as a unique talent.
As one of the greatest fighters ever. So I think Terence is special, you know, and it's going to take it takes a special fighter to move up multiple weight classes and still dominate. And I think Terence Crawford has the ability, not to say he'll dominate Canelo Alvarez, but I think he's special enough to where he can find a way to expose Canelo's flaws and pull it off. I just think he's a special enough fighter, and he's gifted enough, and he's smart enough to win a boxing match.
Capable of moving up in weight and still excelling. Although he doesn't anticipate Crawford dominating the fight, he believes Crawford has the skill to exploit weaknesses in Canelo's style and secure the victory.
I think what you'll see with Terence is a boxer, but he's also going to try to beat up. He's going to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he's going to box, but he's going to get his respect too, and he's going to be smart about it. You know, so I think he can. I really think
Terence Crawford won't rely solely on his boxing skills against Canelo Alvarez, but will also bring an aggressive approach to earn Canelo's respect.
It's a fantastic fight, you know, two generational greats, two pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Madrimov fight, you saw that physically, I think he's, you know, even at 154, he's not a big 154. He's definitely not a big 160, and he's definitely not even a small 168. So, but he has got unbelievable skill, and he's got a huge boxing IQ, but so has Canelo Alvarez. So I do give him the edge in that fight.
Do we see a stoppage?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
If Canelo's active in the fight, depends. He's got to get to him early. Yeah. Terence will be moving his feet, and Canelo won't.
He expects Crawford to be strategic, blending technical mastery with physicality, and remains confident that Crawford has what it takes to win, reinforcing his belief that he can pull off the victory.
Has the power to maybe keep Canelo honest and maybe
but
even...
you don't need power.
But just, I'm just saying, I guess the aspect is Canelo's going to want to press him, you know, at some point.
He don't want to press him.
But, you know, Crawford likes to fight.
Okay, Canelo wanted to press Floyd too.
True.
He tried to. Floyd kept stepping around him. He, you know, kept looking for Floyd. You know, Floyd was right there. And then would just make one or two simple moves. Canelo had to reset. Floyd never had to reset. Boom, 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 step around. Boom, 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 step around. That was it. Trust me, Crawford's going to look at that.
Eddie Hearn has just given his take on the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Meanwhile, boxing analyst Sam Jones, a strong supporter of Crawford, has expressed concerns about the size difference between the two fighters. While Jones acknowledges Crawford's exceptional skills, he believes Canelo's sheer strength and physicality will be a major obstacle.
12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He described Canelo as a compact powerhouse, not particularly tall, but built like a solid block of muscle. According to Jones, this physical advantage could be the defining factor, making it extremely challenging for Crawford to secure victory.